when the green happened. You see Jeff Courtney on the pole, but Nico Jamin, he knew what he needed to do if he had a shot at this one, Cal.
What a move. It was clinical down into turn 3. Takes that inside line, but gives him good racing room. Just good, clean racing as Aschenbach also looks for a way through.
Couldn't quite get it done there, and Jamin immediately opened up a big lead, enough to be able to hang on down the straights, but the battle behind him got fierce, and Rodrigo Baptista was on form.
He really was. He faded a little bit as the race went on for other reasons, but you can see Aschenbach right in the mix. Jason Bell goes through a quick spin. You guys going through the weeds to take evasive action.
Quick throughout the race, Nico Jamin, the rookie, showing what he's made of. Get pretty significant celebrations on the top step of the podium, and he's lived up to the hype.
He's the real deal. A perfect first lap, a decisive move on Courtney. Then he created that buffer. He realized with the dynamic of that car.
As a rookie, that's impressive, but we also have one of our most veteran competitors having maybe the weekend of his life so far.
Superb. I mean, this is a guy who's on the verge of quitting just a couple of weeks ago, and he comes here this weekend. He's got good history with this car in this racetrack. They had a good notebook. They've got those electrical gremlins fixed on that car. He was superb this weekend. A great run for Jeff.
With a third place and podium spot.
Welcome back to the Nissan Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix at VIR, as this GTS field completing its installation lap, and of course second race of the doubleheader, standing start this time, Cal. And this is going to be interesting because that crossbow can be a little finicky on the standing starts, and we haven't seen a lot of standing starts from the Maserati there. So it is when the lights go out that we go racing, and it will be 50 minutes of competition. The staggered start here, and the run down into turn 1, and starting an incredible lap. We are green, we are racing, and a good start by Courtney, but Jamin has the inside line, Cal, and look at Aschenbach's launch.
He had a great launch there, Lawson Aschenbach. He now flicks to the outside. Can he make a move around the outside down into turn 1? Jamin comes back at Courtney. They slide in there. Jason Bell recovering from a poor start, but slides into the 4th position.
Yeah, it was close between Bell and Aschenbach, but he gave him a little bit of room, and Aschenbach now all over the back of Courtney. I think Lawson senses he does not want to have Jamin get a big lead like he did yesterday.
He's in the groove already. Lawson looks to the inside on turn 4, thinks better of it. Courtney under pressure right now.
And now this is where they start to build speed all the way through turn 6. Tricky corner there, and then Cal is pretty much flat.
It is, but remember, these Pirelli P0s don't have the ultimate tire temperature just yet, so you have to tread carefully. Jamin with the lead. Courtney now stretches away from Aschenbach a little bit in 2nd spot.
Up and over the curbs and the climbing S's, and now an awfully tricky corner that is extremely quick, turn 10.
Courtney's recovered nicely. He's got into a good rhythm here. He is gap Lawson a little bit. He's just got to hit his marks now, get a good exit off of Oak Tree, and he should be fine in terms of defense of that position.
Markey up into 5th. Bell now in the 6th spot, leading in the AM category. So everybody benefiting just a little bit, but perhaps most of all, Lawson Aschenbach at this stage. And with this caution, Cal, all of that huge margin of 4.5 seconds as Jamin had over Courtney, and the margin he had back to Aschenbach evaporates. And that slightly heavier Camaro, if there were concerns about tires.
I think Lawson's main goal here would be trying to nip by Courtney if possible, and then use him as a bit of a buffer. But Courtney's got great pace too, so this is what racing's all about. He's got a fight on his hands today.
Boy, he does, and it's going to become an even shorter sprint as we are just under the halfway point here at Virginia International Raceway in round 4 for the GTS Championship. Under caution, it should be a relatively quick cleanup, and then we should be back to racing. And Jamin dropped the hammer right at the apex, Cal, and gets himself a little bit of a margin. He knew what he needed to do again.
Takes another box, but I'll tell you what, by the end of this straightaway, that Maserati could be awfully close. Here comes Courtney.
Boy, and they just need to get around Jamin and then stay in front. What happens there? Meanwhile, Jamin has been able to just hang on here. That margin about the same back to Courtney, and Aschenbach, as you said, has been able to get a little bit of breathing room back to Ian James.
Yeah, it's game on now.
Yeah,
I mean, Nico has got to really start to get the hammer down. See another little bit of debris there on the exit of turn 1, all the way up through that corner.
At 20 minutes remaining,
See Aschenbach's car. The language is a little bit different today, Greg. He's definitely a little bit more taily. And that could be a real factor with 5-10 minutes to go. He's got to try and manage that, keep that balance underneath him. And Ian James will be watching. So much experience behind the wheel of that 50 Panos.
And do you think that's a case of Aschenbach just Just love watching them through this section of track and recognizing that they're just picking up speed.
Building speed. This is where it really starts to get.
Webcast of all the races. You can also go, of course, to Facebook. Just search the Pirelli World Challenge Championship fan page, or on Twitter, just look for the handle @WC Racing. And after that caution, Jeff Courtney has found it, and the two of them have been trading fast laps. The margin, Cal, right around a second here, and every time Courtney closes, Germain hasn't answered, then Courtney closes up again, and behind them, the battle for third between two full season protagonists, Lawson Aschenbach and Ian James, equally good, if not better.
Wow, this is like a good prize fight. They are trading blows right now in terms of lap times. Courtney got that gap all the way down to about 0.9. I think I saw Courtney have a little bit of understeer on that front straightaway and lost a couple of tenths on that last lap, so the gap is not as close as we saw during the break. And now he's having a nice, good, clean run here this afternoon.
And up front, here it comes. This is again Nico Germain, and last lap Courtney uncorked a 154.6, which is well clear of the best lap that Germain turned a few laps before. So we thought Courtney might be fading a little bit, and
he is
yeah,
closer than he's ever been.
Exactly.
This is really, really close. This is going to be under a second if he can get a good clean run. Let's watch him through here, through the roller coaster. That final corner, a couple of laps ago, I saw a lot of understeer on this Maserati as he comes on the front straightaway. Watch right here. That looked good. That looked good, clean. That's where that crossbow is really effective. You can see the gap. It magnifies.
And the white flag is out. We are on our final lap. And let's take a look at the margin. 1.3 seconds. Germain takes the fast lap again in a 154.6. Is incredibly close here. Working through this highly technical turn 4, 5, and now 6. And then the blast up into Oak Tree that involves these two sets of S's, building speed. And these two, Cal, have opened that margin up to that battle to third to almost 8 seconds at this stage. They are truly in a league of their own.
A little bit of traffic up ahead. I'm not sure they're going to catch them before the finish of this final lap. Nico Germain has responded. Courtney laid down the fastest lap of the race, and the leader does exactly the same thing on the next lap. He did a nice clean run there through Oak Trees, managed that gap beautifully. Courtney will certainly reduce it as they get up to the brakes on 14, but wow, what a motor race. That was thrilling.
Unbelievable stuff. And Germain, boy, is he going to be somebody to watch into the future. But let's give a little bit of a shout out to Jeff Courtney. One, doing this in a car that does not have ABS or traction control, and we never saw that car have any significant movement out there. Pretty impressive stuff.
Oh, it's been an awesome drive by him this weekend. Jeff Courtney, hats off to you, mate. That is brilliant stuff. Nico, very, very impressive. But that battle for third spot was amazing.
It truly was, and these guys are still hustling it here, Cal. I wonder if there may have been a little bit of a misunderstanding on something, because these guys are still looking, to me, to be driving it pretty hard.
Well, the time is elapsed, so I'm not sure if they missed the checkered flag or not, but according to timing and scoring, this thing is done.
Yep, absolutely. Checkered says.
Maybe he wants to set fastest lap on the in lap. Exclamation point.
He wants to get out into the pits and celebrate once again, so we're going to step away. When we come back, we will hear from our winners at the Pirelli World Challenge Nissan Grand Prix at VIR.